Okay, so in this video we are going to have a look at an alternative approach for finding the modulus and the argument. So you'll see I've kept the same complex numbers that were used in the examples in the previous video, and we're just going to use these as a comparison as to how the approaches are similar and different. So just show you down the bottom, Q1 and Q2 have the same approach as previous, but it changes in Q3 and Q4. So all that's happening here essentially is we consider this as above the x-axis and below the x-axis. So if we're dealing with Q1 or Q2 above the x-axis, we're going to be moving in a clockwise direction. And that goes as far as 180 degrees. And then if we land in Q3 or Q4, we start moving in a clockwise direction, anti-clockwise up on top, clockwise below. So the minute we start moving in a clockwise direction, we need to make our answers negative. So you'll see Q4 takes the same approach as Q1, but you make your answer negative, and Q3 will take the same approach as Q2, but make your answer negative. So essentially, like, the x-axis is your axis of symmetry. Okay, so if we come back up here, the approach for the modulus doesn't change, that's fine. So I've kept that there. We're in Q1, so it's going to be an identical approach, so there's nothing new here. And for Q2 also, identical approach, nothing has changed. So if we look now at Q3, we see here we would start and move in a clockwise direction. So the minute I've done that, I know I'll be making my answer negative. So there's alpha, and then theta sits here. So for us, as we look at this, it'll be pi minus alpha, and we make our answer negative. So just to show you down here again. Okay, so we have tan alpha will equal 7/7 alpha is tan inverse of 7/7, and enter calculator. So alpha equals pi/4. And then for theta, it'll be pi minus pi/4, or else if we're dealing with degrees, so pi minus pi/4 will give you 3 pi/4. So the answer there is minus 3 pi/4. 180 minus 45 is 135. So it'll be minus 135 degrees. So there's your answer for part 3. And for part 4 then, we're in Q4, so we know we've moved in a clockwise direction. So my angle will be minus theta. So we have tan of theta is 2/2√3. Intercalculator, tan inverse of 2/2√3 equals pi/6. Or in degrees, that's 30 degrees. And then we know we're in Q4, we've moved in a clockwise direction, so we make our answer negative. So we get theta equals minus pi/6, or theta equals minus 30 degrees. So there's our alternative approach. So just to run through it again, the approach for Q1 and Q2 stays the same. If we're in Q3 then, we treat it as pi minus your angle alpha and make your answer negative. And if we're in Q4 then, you find theta identical to Q1, and then just make your answer negative. And that's us done for the alternative approach.